When global shipping lines froze and factories locked down, the reality of a fragile supply chain hit consumers instantly. For decades, multinational companies built immense efficiency by routing their production through a single country. This created a single point of failure for the entire global market. Apple serves as a perfect case study of this geographic dependency. Until recently, 8 to 9 out of every 10 iPhones were assembled in Chinese facilities. Then, new variables entered the equation. Rising tariffs from U.S. trade wars and new opaque national security laws turned what used to be a highly optimized assembly line into a severe corporate liability. Relocating a supply chain that processes hundreds of billions of dollars is a massive logistical undertaking, but staying put is worse. Boardrooms across the globe recognized that geographic diversification is now a requirement for corporate survival. This led to the China Plus One strategy. Companies began a search for a secondary manufacturing hub that could secure their output without sacrificing the scale they require. It is not only corporations making this move. Entire allied nations are actively restructuring their economic policies to support this exit, with Japan providing a template for how governments can incentivize the shift. This chart tracks Japan's outward foreign direct investment. Notice how the green line representing India sharply overtakes the red line representing China, marking a historic divergence in capital allocation. Looking at this official document, the India-Japan Industrial Competitiveness Partnership Roadmap, we see this capital shift formalized into state-backed policy aimed specifically at securing global supply lines. While countries like Vietnam and Indonesia are also attracting investment, India is positioning itself as the only destination with the land, the power grid, and the workforce density required to absorb the massive scale of migrating global capital. To capture that migrating capital, the Indian government launched an aggressive domestic policy called the Production Linked Incentive, or PLI, scheme. Instead of offering upfront tax breaks, PLI works on a performance basis. A manufacturer receives direct financial payouts only after they successfully hit specific, escalating production volume targets. This dashboard tracks 14 target sectors. We see 2 lakh crore rupees in investments, generating 18.7 lakh crore in production and 12.6 lakh jobs. Zooming in on mobile phones, domestic production grew 28-fold since 2014, reaching a 5.45 lakh crore rupee industry today. That momentum spilled over into broader telecommunications. By achieving a 60% import substitution rate, India flipped from a heavy importer to a primary global exporter of 4G and 5G equipment. Scaling consumer electronics at this speed proves a crucial point. The country possesses the industrial capacity, the technical workforce, and the operational velocity to execute global mass manufacturing. But volume is only half the equation. The state is simultaneously pushing into highly complex, specialized technology. Currently, 21 new domestic projects are building 54 unique categories of critical medical devices. This includes high-end linear accelerators and MRI machines, which require exacting precision and tight quality controls. While the telecom sector is designed to capture massive export market share, the medical device push serves a different purpose, reducing the country's reliance on foreign imports for critical healthcare equipment. By successfully executing both high-volume consumer goods and high-value precision equipment, India is building a sovereign manufacturing ecosystem that moves beyond simple assembly. Industrial growth of this scale depends on a modernized domestic infrastructure to move parts and finished goods efficiently. The government initiated the PM Gati Shakti Master Plan. By building a multimodal logistics network, the goal is to drive national logistics costs down from 13% to 8%. On the digital side, the Bharat TradeNet system was introduced to entirely digitize trade documents, lowering friction at the borders and speeding up export financing. These macroeconomic upgrades flow down to the economy space. Small enterprises can now plug their output directly into modernized national supply chains. Through targeted grassroots programs like e-commerce export hubs, local artisans and smaller startups can bypass traditional barriers and sell directly to international buyers. The data shows a clear evolution. India has shifted from a secondary backup in the China Plus One strategy to a central manufacturing node for some of the world's largest technology brands. With heavily funded incentives and modernized infrastructure, the geographic center of manufacturing is shifting. For global enterprise leaders, the cost of delaying diversification is now visible in lost market share and supply chain